Hello and welcome to South Asia Focus. I'm your host Uzma Jafri. We begin the show with India achieving the milestone of building the Asia's longest bi-directional highway tunnel in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The tunnel, which has been built over a period of 4 years, will bring respite to commuters by reducing the travel time between Jammu and Srinagar by up to 2 hours. Take a look.
The 5.71-mile all-weather tunnel connecting Chenani with Nashri towns in Jammu and Kashmir state is equipped with world-class safety features. The state-of-the-art tunnel does not require any human intervention for its operations. It boasts of transverse ventilation system which will provide fresh air to passengers. Being India's longest road tunnel, it will cut down the travel distance between Jammu and Srinagar by 25 miles, which effectively means saving 2 hours of travelling time and daily saving of fuel worth $38,000.
This is the first time in India that this much of long tunnel, that is 9 kilometer long, is equipped with state-of-the-art incident detection system, state-of-the-art integrated tunnel control system, and we have installed around 124 number of cameras inside the tunnel for the traffic surveillance. And the operators at the main control center, they keep a vigil on the traffic all the time. So if there is any incident, what they do, they take the immediate action.
That I invite every citizen of our country to once visit this Chenani tunnel, and that tunnel is extraordinary. Huge effort goes to the initiatives taken by the state authorities as well as National Highway Authority of India. It's a good thing. Such projects should be more encouraged in our nation so that we can get proper roads, proper tunnels.
On April 2, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the tunnel in the presence of State Chief of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti. He also visited the tunnel site, which is a part of the 178-mile-long four-laning of Jammu-Srinagar National Highway. The Prime Minister praised the engineers for the exemplary work.
ये जम्मू और श्रीनगर को दूरी कम करने वाली सिर्फ लंबी सुरंग नहीं है, ये लंबी सुरंग जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए विकास की एक लंबी छलांग है, ऐसा मैं साफ देखता हूं.
The project comes in the backdrop of major initiatives being taken by the Government of India to bring the state of Jammu and Kashmir on the road of prosperity. Government has also been working on 6 hydro projects in the state to provide the state with more energy to meet its deficit.
To understand the development projects in India's Jammu and Kashmir state better, we are now joined by Mohit Kandhari, a senior journalist based in Jammu. Mr. Mohit, how will Chenani-Nashri tunnel help improve connectivity and bring development in Jammu and Kashmir?
This is going to be integrating Kashmir Valley with the rest of the India and boosting tourism and economic activity in the region, offering a lot of employment opportunities and other trade activities for the locals living in remote areas. And it has already has started reducing load on the pockets of all those tourists who are visiting Kashmir Valley.
The Government of India is laying more emphasis on development in the state. Which are the other projects that would contribute to the economic development in Jammu and Kashmir?
The Government of India is investing more than 7,000 crores on expanding the rest of the highways and preparing more ring road connecting Jammu and Srinagar. Basically, they are trying to create tourist circuits starting from the gateway of Jammu, reaching up to Srinagar Valley and connecting parts of Ladakh region also.
Let's move to Afghanistan, where anti-Pakistan protests have broken out over Islamabad's incessant shelling of areas inside Afghanistan like Nangarhar and Kunar. We have a report.
A massive anti-Pakistan protest was held recently in Lashkargah, the capital of Afghanistan's southern Helmand province, with an aim to highlight Pakistan as a terrorist sponsoring state. Protesters asked Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani to declare war on Pakistan. They said that if war was declared, then the Afghan Taliban would fight against the Pakistani army. Civil society members said they would not allow Afghanistan to be ruined at the hands of Pakistani terrorists and the army.
چې افغانان هیڅ کله پاکستان ته به دا موقع ورنکړي چې پر افغان خاوره باندې تېری وکړي. موږ د خپلو امنیتي ځواکونو تر څنګ ولاړ یو. هیڅ کله به پنجابیانو ته دا حق ورنکړو چې پر دې خاوره باندې تېری وکړي. او افغانانو په تاریخ کې دا ثابته کړې ده. پاکستان چې د افغانانو تاریخ ولولي ودې لوستي. که چېرې د افغانستان ولسمشر پر پاکستان باندې د جنګ امر وکړي، همدغه افغاني طالبان به هلته به جنګېږي. هیڅ کله د افغانستان خپل منځي جنگ افغانان دومره نه دي بې اتفاقه کړي چې خپل امپراتوري خرڅه کړي. زه له طالبان ورونو څخه هیله لرم، دا زه پوهېږم چې تاسې په هېواد کې جنګېږئ او د دولت سره جنګېږئ، خو په دې هم پوه شئ چې پاکستان زموږ دښمن دی او د پاکستان سره که رئیس جمهور جنګ اعلان کړي طالبان به ورځي. او زه هیله لرم چې ژر تر ژره پاکستان د افغانستان رئیس جمهور د پاکستان سره جنګ اعلان کړي.
Pakistani law enforcement agencies have launched a crackdown against Afghan nationals in Balochistan and other regions on fabricated charges of terrorism, while on the other hand, Pakistan has fired rockets and missiles in Nangarhar and Kunar. Pakistan has also reportedly activated military operations along the Durand line, raising the level of aggression manifold. However, in a shocking revelation, an unidentified Pakistani Taliban guerrilla has exposed a nexus between the Pakistan-based Muslim scholars and the ISI in forcing youth to fight in the name of religion.
हम उलमा को ये अर्ज करते हैं कि क्यों आप लोग यहाँ हम लोगों को मरवाते हो, हमें हकीकत क्यों नहीं बताते हो, हमें हकीकत बताओ, हमें दुरुस्त दो, सही कि हम लोग सुलह के लिए आ जाएं। यहाँ अगर हम खुशगवार माहौल में आते तो कितना मजा होता। आज हम लोगों को एहसास हो रहा है कि मुसलमान को मुसलमान के साथ मुसलमान ही लड़ा रहा है। ये आलिम जो हैं पाकिस्तान के जितने भी उलमा हैं ये सारे के सारे ISI और दूसरे ममालिक से पैसे खाकर इन गरीब अवाम को और गरीब मासूम तालिब इल्म को इधर मरवाते हैं। जो तालिब इल्म हमारे साथ आए हैं और वो शहीद हो गए, उनके इराम में उनका जिम्मेवार कौन है? उनकी माँ बाप को पता नहीं है कि उसका बेटा मदरसे में पढ़ता है और यहाँ आकर उसे बेचारा वो उसका पता नहीं है कि इसके टुकड़े कहाँ पड़े हुए। इसके जिम्मेदार कौन है? इसके जिम्मेदार पाकिस्तान के उलमा हैं जो उनको गलत दुरुस्त देकर यहाँ भेज देते हैं।
Not only the Taliban, many other terror outfits like Lashkar-e-Jahangir, Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Haqqani network are based in Pakistan. They are fomenting terror in Afghanistan and in other parts of the region.
Afghanistan and Pakistan blame each other for supporting anti-state militants and sponsoring cross-border terrorist attacks, a major source of tension and deterioration in bilateral relations. Moving on, the bilateral relations between India and Bangladesh are reaching to a new height as both neighbors have come closer to strengthen their defense, economic and cultural ties. During Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's visit to New Delhi, both countries have also stepped up collaboration to counter terror and extremism. We have a report.
Extending a special welcome, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received his Bangladesh counterpart, Sheikh Hasina, who arrived in New Delhi on her first bilateral visit in 7 years. Hasina, who was accorded a ceremonial welcome, inspected the guard of honor at the forecourts of Rashtrapati Bhavan before laying a wreath at the memorial of iconic freedom figure Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. Prime Minister Hasina's visit to India is crucial as it aimed at boosting bilateral ties between Dhaka and New Delhi. After delegation-level talks, both countries signed 23 key pacts in defense, cybersecurity, trade and investment, science and technology, information and communications technology, shipping and bus services. A $500 million line of credit to Bangladesh has been provided to buy Indian military hardware. India will equip Bangladesh Defence Forces to meet the demand of expert training along with technical and logistic support. To enhance connectivity and develop people-to-people contact, 2 rail and a road connectivity projects were also inaugurated.
Connectivity is crucial for the success of bilateral development partnership, sub-regional economic projects, and for the larger regional economic prosperity. Today, together with the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, we have added several new links to our growing connectivity. Bus and train links between Kolkata and Khulna and Radhikapur Birol have been restored today.
We both reiterated our strong commitment to make our borders peaceful and free from criminal activities. We also pledged zero tolerance against terrorism and violent extremism.
Border management and fighting cross-border drugs and human trafficking, along with construction of Patma and Ganges barrages, were also discussed between India and Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina led government in Dhaka flushed out Indian militants from Bangladesh, which resulted in peace in India's northeast region. The Bangladesh Prime Minister also honored Indian soldiers who lost their life during 1971 Liberation War. India played a crucial role in the liberation of Bangladesh.
India and Bangladesh share a 2,545-mile-long boundary. Now let's talk about the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan economic corridor, which is facing strong opposition by locals in Pakistan and other areas it passes through. The resistance is seen mounting in Balochistan province, where the locals believe that the CPEC will only result in the economic exploitation of Balochistan, with the people being reduced to a minority in their own land. My colleague Ravi Khandelwal spoke with exiled Baloch leader Nawab Mehran Marri.
Mehran, it has been noted that on various platforms, Baloch are raising serious concerns about this multi-billion-dollar CPEC project. So why the Baloch are so much worried about this project?
See, there's many reasons why the Baloch are worried and should be worried, and the international world should be worried about the CPEC project. First and foremost, the human cost of CPEC has not been gauged correctly, or it has not been discussed as much as it should be. The human cost for the Baloch population in the region, especially from Gwadar, people are getting displaced. The demographic imbalance that is going to be caused in the future, the Punjabi influx and the Mahajir influx from Punjab and Karachi, are going to cause serious concerns for the Baloch populations of the future. Right now we're focusing on the economic and the resource looting process that CPEC entails, i.e. the exploitation of our resources by China and Pakistan. So in short, I would say one point being it's illegal, because I've always said it's on occupied territory. Secondly, it's against international law. Thirdly, it's against the will of the people of Balochistan. We have not been consulted. The Baloch leadership has not been consulted for the CPEC project. And most importantly, because of the location of CPEC, or the starting of CPEC from Gwadar, it's at the Strait of Hormuz, the mouth of Strait of Hormuz, where 60% of the world's oil passes through. The international community should be concerned more than us, because China's military presence in Gwadar is going to be detrimental to international economics, and the international powers could be choked within a matter of weeks if China wants, because it's got a listening post and a military presence in Gwadar port.
It has been noted, that there's a sudden rise in the incidence of enforced disappearances, and the army and intelligence agencies, they are killing the children and women in Balochistan. So do you see that it's an impact of the CPEC project which Pakistan has to done just because of China?
Yes, of course. China has to secure its workers and its people, and Pakistan has to give assurances for the security. And to give assurances, they have to get rid of the Baloch population on the route of the CPEC. Enforced disappearances is happening extensively on that route, because I'm not exactly know of the kilometers on both sides of the road. They're clearing the areas and displacing the people. Any Baloch presence is seen as a threat to the project and the Chinese workforce. So, and one thing that you just mentioned, enforced disappearances of women, this is the cowardly act that Punjabi army committed in Bangladesh just before Bangladesh's independence, and it has started in the last 4 months, abducting women and children to bring people down from the mountains who are struggling for their independence, or even just to blackmail individuals who are sympathetic to the independence cause. These cowards have always resorted to such means. They did in Bangladesh, they're doing that in Balochistan, and hopefully this should go against them in the long term.
It has been noted, that Chinese security forces, they will be posted in Balochistan just to secure the CPEC project. So, is it a worrying situation for the Baloch, those who are struggling for their sovereignty?
Of course, Chinese presence Punjabi presence in Balochistan is not acceptable. Chinese presence is not acceptable by any means. But what the Pakistanis don't understand, I think the Pakistani population is understanding now. CPEC is not going to benefit Pakistan either. China has a very bad and tainted track record of its exploitation in Latin America, in Africa. It brings its own workforce, it brings its own food, it brings its own everything, even nuts and bolts and sand and bricks it brings from China. So it will not benefit anyone. I think the Pakistanis are realizing, but I think Pakistan military is predominantly involved in the CPEC because they are getting the contracts and they are the ones who are getting the kickbacks and making money out of it. But hopefully this thing will not go through because of the internal issues, and we really hope the international powers should intervene and object to the CPEC construction.
Not only Balochistan, CPEC is facing strong opposition in Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. Moving on, women in Pakistan remain victim to gender inequality, abuse and sexual violence, living in a highly conservative society. The women feel insecure and neglected. Today we meet a group of Pakistani women who have challenged male dominance in public spaces in the country.
Riding a bicycle to express her freedom and liberty. In a bid to increase the visibility of women in public spaces, an organization called Girls at Dhabas held bike rallies across Islamabad, Lahore and Karachi. Conservatism and narrow-minded views have stifled women in Pakistan for years, but now they're not ready to sit and suffer in their misery.
I drive on these roads all the time. But this was maybe the first time that I got to experience them while biking.
Okay.
And I just loved the feeling of freedom with the breeze in my hair.
Over 60% of Pakistan's nearly 200 million population are under the age of 30, but young women in the country continue to face barriers to employment and are often made to feel uncomfortable going to male-dominated public areas. However, a new generation of Pakistani feminists is determined to build on progress made by their predecessors.
It's part of a much greater narrative, it's part of a much greater issue that is just not proper for us to be out there, and that leads to harassment, that leads to violence, and we need to normalize.
Though there is a small but vocal liberal movement in Pakistan, most noticeable in sections of the media, women who push feminist ideas often face a barrage of abuse and are portrayed as part of Western or un-Islamic propaganda.
The Girls at Dhaba group shot to fame back in 2015 after they posted pictures of Pakistani women hanging out at roadside eateries that are traditionally male-dominated spaces. Moving on, mixed martial arts MMA is becoming increasingly popular throughout the world, even in war-ravaged Afghanistan. In this country, the first MMA competition attracted the young and old. The young fighters here are now looking for brighter career prospects in the MMA ring.
Energetic fighters, cheering fans and booming music. In a custom-built arena in Kabul, crowds cheered as young Afghan men punched, kicked and wrestled in the country's first professional mixed martial arts league. The contest is a welcome distraction to the violence besetting the country.
هر فایتر در آرزو می داشته باشه که از این مسابقات بیشتر و بیشتر و بیشتر مسابقات خارجی داشته باشن. ما آرزوی ما است که بیشتر رشد کنیم و مسابقات خارجی داشته باشیم.
To date, only men have competed in the handful of competitions, but organizers say they are training women fighters. They want to develop mixed martial arts as a professional sport, hoping to host foreign fighters and send Afghan competitors abroad.
We are thinking of having international events and asking fighters from other countries to come and participate here in Afghanistan. But of course, with the current situation of the country, it becomes that much more difficult to convince somebody to come and participate in an event such as this here.
Outside the gate, spectators expressed gratitude for a diversion from the country's woes. Sports like cricket and soccer often garner national attention in Afghanistan, but others see sports like MMA not only as entertainment, but as an opportunity for young people to excel at a sport.
Afghanistan's Baz Mohammad Mubaris is a well-known MMA fighter who has won several international bouts in his career. Now we take you to India, a land of diverse cultures and religions. It is also home to a large number of tribal people who have preserved their indigenous culture and traditions. Today we will talk about few of these tribes and their festivals which are adding to richness of Indian culture. Have a look.
Santals, Khasis, Angamis, Bhutias and many more. India is home to a large number of indigenous people who are still untouched by the lifestyle of the modern world. With more than 84 million tribals, India has the largest tribal population in the world. They live a simple life, enjoy their culture by dancing, singing and cooking local delicacies. In India's eastern Jharkhand state, the tribals celebrate Sarhul festival during the spring season when the sal trees start getting new flowers on their branches. The festival marks the beginning of the new year and they organize the wedding of sun and the earth on this day. People express their gratitude and worship the elements of nature by dressing up in colorful attires and performing traditional dances.
आज हम गर्व करते हैं अपने आप को आदिवासी कहते हुए, क्योंकि हम आदिवासियों की वजह से आज दुनिया कहती है पानी बचाओ, जंगल बचाओ, पेड़ बचाओ, लेकिन ये संस्कृति और ये जो सारी योजनाएं वो हम पूर्वज हमारे करते हुए आ रहे हैं और आज तक चलते हुए आ रहे हैं. इसलिए हम अपने आप पर गर्व करते हैं और अपने आप को सरना कहते हुए हमें गर्व महसूस होती है.
India's northeast region is home to scores of tribes with people frequently celebrating the cultural festivals. In Arunachal Pradesh, Galo tribe celebrates Mopin festival with a belief that it brings good luck, prosperity and good crops in coming days. The tribe also believes that it protects them from various diseases, calamities and evil spirits. The members of the tribe showcase the correct form of their culture to give the younger generation an insight into their culture.
तो किताबी शिक्षा के साथ-साथ हम लोग इस प्रयास में हैं कि अपनी कला, संस्कृति, अपनी परंपरा को बरकरार रखने के लिए हम लोग अपने स्टूडेंट्स को सिखा रहे हैं कि त्योहार किस तरह से मनाया जाए.
All these tribes have their own culture, tradition, language and lifestyle. A large number of tourists visit India to get an insight into many different cultures at the same time on their tour.
Visiting tribal areas in India will truly be delightful and captivating for visitors. With that, we come to the end of this week's show. I'm your host, Uzma Jafri. Goodbye and take care.